Yo, what's up, peeps? It's Mohammed Afkami, your boy as always, and today I'm going to be talking about the situation in Iran, the riots, um, what people are thinking, or what I think people are thinking, and what's going on the ground. I was there. A month or two ago, and saw it like close up when it all started. Left after about a month of riots. Forgive me if I'm a bit sluggish and I can't get my words out well. I've got a chest infection, but I will try my best. Okay, so the real situation. Okay, Iranians won't agree with this because they only live in the country and they don't get out much. Like the Iranian passport, you can't go to many countries with that. You know what I mean? Without a visa, and it's hard to get visas. It's not as bad as North Korea, but it's up there. I mean, they haven't been most Iranians, if they're affluent, they haven't been further than Turkey and Dubai. Okay, you get like I don't know, like 5 to 10% living out of the country, like me. All right, so what's going on? The real situation in Iran. Okay, so I have to start off by bringing Russia and China into the whole game with the US, the UK, right? Because that's where it all stems from, right? There was a revolution in 1979 in Iran, okay? The Iranians revolted by the help of the CIA and they overthrew the Shah, which was the king of Iran, okay? Now, fast forward 40 years, 40 odd years, we're in the Islamic Republic of Iran right now, okay? And there's a movement. There's a movement for women's rights in Iran, which everyone agrees with. No one's gonna, like, you won't get many people that aren't gonna say, like, I disagree with women being equal, having equal opportunities in Iran. Okay. But what's really going on is this. Russia's just been labeled a terrorist nation because of what's going on with the Ukraine situation, and they've been sanctioned. Like, even you can't even get a flight into Russia right now. So I'm gonna try and go there on holiday. No flights to Russia. Okay. Secondly, China's expanding, man. The UK out of Hong Kong, other countries around the region, and China's trying to get a foothold, even in Taiwan. Okay? And the US has actually labeled, not many people know this, labeled China a threat to national security of the US. Okay? I'm not against the US. I love the US. I go to Miami, LA. Love the countries, love the people. Probably the best country in the world I've visited, right? But we're just talking about global politics. Like, don't bring ignorance into it and say, oh, okay, but you said this about the States, you're pro-Russia, you're pro-China. No, I'm just trying to give you, like, there's biases everywhere. Like, there's biases from Russia towards China, what they're doing in Ukraine, the situation in Hong Kong, and the people in Taiwan. I'm just telling you how it is in Iran, okay? So, with Iran, Iran's a strategic region in the country. Like, it's not in the country, in the Middle East, okay? It's way up close to the ex-Soviet, well, it's got a border with the ex-Soviet Union countries. It's way close to Russia, it's close to Turkey. You've got the Gulf at the bottom, right? To the right, you've got Afghanistan, Pakistan, like strategic regions, man. Just after Pakistan, you've got China, all right? So, what the US is trying to do is, okay, let me say it this way first. After the revolution, the CIA tried to get US in, like the US presence back into Iran after the revolution. They were unsuccessful. The Russians, the Chinese, and you could say the French beat them to it, okay? Now they have the foothold. Hence all the sanctions from the West towards Iran and now Russia, okay? Also Syria. It's not about who's good or bad, I'm just saying the situation how it is, all right? Don't take sides, all right? So, now the US wants a foothold in Iran because even more so than before because of what's going down with Russia and what's going down with China. They want to get a military base in there. That's the key for them. You know what I'm saying? Like they want to have a military base in there. They want to make sure like the gas pipelines from Qatar are going to the west. There's a whole like bunch of reasons why they want to be in there. Look at gas prices right now in Europe. You know what I mean? If they could get gas in from Qatar to Turkey or straight into Syria, there's a lot of routes into Europe. Then you know what I mean? Like gas will go down by a lot because you're not just dependent on Russia. You know what I mean? So there's a whole host of reasons. Plus, it's just like it's a strategic region too. Like I said, they want to be up close to Russia. Same way they want to get like the NATO wants to get into Ukraine because they want to be close to the Russian border. It's like it's the West asserting its dominance in the region. Not saying the West are bad. I'm just saying it's like that's what the West wants. That's what Russia wants. That's what China wants. Iran has its own motives. You know what I mean? It's just a game of power, man. Like it's just a game. Like. Like if you're in the game, then you're in the game. You have a side, and you play to win. You know what I mean? That's what it is. Now, the ground situation in Iran. The CIA is trying to push democracy yet again, like they did with the Taliban, like they did with Syria, like they were Libya, you know what I mean? Like, just call whoever's in power an authoritarian, a dictator, when you don't really have democracies in the Middle East and North Africa, like in Muslim countries, even in like East Asian countries like China or Thailand or African countries, you know what I mean? They tend to be authoritarian, right? I think I said that right. Okay, one party, one person controls the power. That's it. It's absolute. There's no proper democracy or votes or whatever. Okay, now the situation on the ground in Iran is they're trying to promote democracy yet again. What they're trying to push is this. They're always trying to push different agendas in democracy, okay? I'm not saying I'm against it or for it, it's just what it is. Right now, they're trying to push the ultra-feminist movement, the feminist movement, I should say, the feminist movement, right? And the LGBTQ movement, okay? Do I disagree with it? Don't take a go at me. Like for me, I don't care, man. I'm all for, I was brought up in the UK, I'm all for women's rights. I'm all for like people having relationships with whoever they want, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't really care. Now, what's going on? They're pushing the agenda. The thing is, it's a false agenda because that's not actually what they're going after. It's just an excuse. It's a motive. And the people on the ground in Iran don't know any better. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, but hopefully they can't understand what I'm saying. Or maybe hopefully they can, and it just makes them think a bit more. But they don't know what's going on. They're getting played yet again. Is the Islamic Republic of Iran a perfect government, or I don't know, is it even a government or system or whatever you want to call it? I don't know, man. The thing is, you don't really have democracy in those countries, in the Middle East, in North Africa. You really have to, from my opinion, okay, I'll give you my opinion on this one, you really have to run these countries with an iron fist. Because democracy is a Western concept, okay? It's part of the Western culture. The culture in the Middle East is way different. It's way different. People in the Middle East, like Tate said, they're intolerant, man. They're traditionalists. They're like ultra-conservative traditionalists. Like you can't get them to change through votes. You know what I mean? The whole thing's going to be a mess. The way it works is, over there, it's the culture that's always been there. You know what I mean? My opinion, it has to be an iron fist. Otherwise, you just don't have a stateless government like Libya, like Afghanistan right now, like what happened to Syria, what's going on in, well, I don't know if it's still going on right now or not, in Tunisia and Egypt, probably to some extent. But look at Saudi, look at Qatar, look at Dubai, look at Oman, look at Kuwait, look at Jordan. Bro, like, they're all imperialist, like, I would say, imperial is the right word. It's obsolete power run by one king. Okay? That's how it works. It's a monarchy. That's the word I'm looking for. It's a monarchy. You know what I mean? And it's cool. Like, personally, my parents being Iranian, me visiting there, the main issue in Iran is sanctions. Sanctions are crippling Iran. And what they really need to sort out, my opinion, what they really need to sort out is hold the government accountable for the sanctions, man. Like, lift all sanctions. That should be the number one agenda, and right until all the sanctions are gone. Then the economy will prosper, and it can get up there with Saudi, you know what I mean? And then, yes, there's going to be restrictions, but bro, it's the Middle East, it's Iran. You can't turn Iran, like, I'm not saying it's good or bad. You can't turn Iran into Germany the same way you can't turn Saudi into France. It's not going to happen. It's never going to happen, you know what I mean? Iranians will disagree because you've got liberal, open-minded Iranians, idealists, and, oh yeah, but we should be like Germany, like, no, you can't be. Like, your neighbors, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iraq, you got a Gulf down there. You know what I mean? Like, the most prosperous country in the region is Turkey. And Turkey's got a border with Europe. We don't have a border with Europe. So, that's just the situation, man. Also, what I want to mention is this. If you really want to know what's going on in any country, just watch the media. Watch the BBC, watch CNN, watch VOA. And on a flip side, watch the, I forgot what it's called, the Russian media, you know what I'm saying, like RT or whatever it is, and then watch the Chinese, you know what I mean, and then watch the Iranians, so you get all biases, and then you understand what's going on. If you look at the media in the West right now, like if it's BBC, VOA, whatever, CNN, all they ever do is talk about killings, murders, extremist groups, violent behavior, like dictators in the Middle East. Like it's always in the top 5 categories, right? You don't see much from Latin America or Africa. But I'll tell you right now, 300 people were killed in Congo yesterday by rebels. Okay, 300. That's way more that's been killed in Iran right now. Not saying what Iran is doing is right. I'm just saying, like, I'm just giving you facts, figures, statistics that you have to look at, right? In Haiti right now I'm in Colombia. There's a lot of Haitians coming here and a lot of Venezuelans because it's the stateless states right now. There's people, well, there's rebel gangs, groups killing, right? Like hundreds, thousands of people. They're just taking over the streets, the neighborhoods, the areas, the cities, and just mass murdering everyone, right? Like everyone. And you got a huge refugee crisis right now in Colombia from Haiti and Venezuela. You don't believe me? Talk to the Colombians, they'll tell you, right? You can even Google this stuff, right? But it won't be on the top news feed in BBC, VOA, CNN, France 24, whatever it is, okay? You're not going to see that there. Why? Interesting question, though. Why? And I'm asking it myself. The reason is they want to create public backing. I think the political word is public consensus, right? Maybe, I might be wrong, I don't know. But what they want to do is this. If one day Iran, well, the West, whether it's UK, US, possibly France, Germany, right? If they want to have a foothold in Iran and send troops over there, there's not going to be riots in the street. Like the people are already accustomed to there being a monstrous situation over there. So when troops are sent over there, for whatever reason, the government will tell you, like Tony Blair did, like David Cameron did in Syria and Libya, then, you know, public consensus will be in the positive. Like, oh, okay, fair, well, we have no issue with spending. It's my country too, man. I'm from the UK, I was born in London. I grew up in Leeds. Like, been living abroad for the past few years, but yeah, it's my country too, man. When I'm going to send my tax money, like, all over the world to wars, tens, hundreds of billions, you know what I mean? Like, there's no outrage, you know what I mean? But then you've got lack of funding in the public sector, you know, schools, not famine, like people in the poverty ladder, like stupid gas prices. The government can't subsidize enough, just £400 a month. That's like a year. That's like a month's flipping gas bill. It's just like, so they're just making the mass population ready. If anything does go down in the region, then there's no opposition. So that's my take on it, man. My take is it's sad. It's really sad that in Iran there's people being killed, people fighting each other, a lot of shit's going down. A lot of people going to prison. People are fighting the police are fighting the people, whatever. But the thing is, man, it's the Middle East. You know what I'm saying? It's my opinion, it's either or. You either rule with an iron fist, you have that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's good, I don't condone it, but you have that, okay? And it's always been the case with the Shah, with someone before like Mossadegh who had a democracy, with the Shah before that, the Shah's father. It's always been the case in the region, you know what I mean? It's a bloody region, man. That's just the Middle East. But it can be a lot worse. Excuse me. It can be a lot worse. It can be stateless, like Libya or Venezuela, where you got huge gangs just robbing and killing people. All right. My cough is coming up. All right. Peace. Let me know what you think. That's my opinion. And a rundown of what's going on in Iran and how it all ties into global politics. All right. Peace.